Hi, this is Pat Moorhead, and the 6.5 is live at MongoDB Local here in New York City 2023. And as you can hear from the background, it is happening at this developer-focused event. Dan, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, it's a great day, Pat. Anytime you can tie together big secular trends with the people that are making it happen,
right,
you've piqued my interest. You know, we spend a lot of time focused on the board level, the C level, but underneath all that, this app economy and now this AI economy that we're in is being fueled by technologists, developers, cloud experts, and this place is absolutely full of them.
Yeah, it's crazy how much time. I mean, it's funny, I think I spend 90% of my advisory time on AI.
Well,
and I think it's
now.
a good, well, last 4 or 5 months. But hey, without further ado, let's introduce our guest. Amit, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Thanks for coming
having
on
me,
the
guys.
show. First time 6.5. We appreciate that.
Thanks for having me guys on the show.
Hey, very interested, Amit, in learning about your business, One AI. So let's start there. You've got to be on the right trend line at the right time in the right market. Tell us about the business. Give us the backstory. I always love hearing from founders about, how it got started. And what was the opportunity, the mission? What is the thing you think you're solving for everybody?
Right. So you asked for the backstory. I'll tell you that, first of all, One AI is, as a team, it's our third AI company. So we haven't jumped on this bandwagon in the last 4 months. We've been in this space personally I've been in it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And we started One AI about 1.5 years ago. And our mission was at the time to bring language AI from the place it used to be, where you had to if you wanted language AI in your product, you had to bring all of these PhDs for Stanford.
Yes.
And implement all of these research papers and hope to God something is going to come out of it. And our mission was, let's take language AI, and we saw that it's coming to the maturity point where you can already smell that it's about to become mature enough to be able to be packaged and provided as a service for companies. So we started a company as an AI as a service company. It was 1.5 years ago. And I think a lot of people told us we're crazy and that no, AI is only something that you build in-house and only a few companies are going to be building it internally. But we took a bet, and we believe that language AI, like any other foundational technology, fundamental service, just like server infrastructure and databases,
Right.
is something that you have to specialize in. So we specialize in language AI for businesses, for these business use cases where you really need the highest accuracy level and the best unit economics, where you need high accuracy and high performance and good total cost of ownership, because that's when you're actually able to deploy AI into large production deployments, because the AI mandate is to save on cost, improve automation, improve scale. If it takes too long to provide an outcome or costs too much per inference, you really didn't do much. So what we're really seeing around the world in all of the emerging AI market is that the technology is coming to fruition, and it's emerging to the sense where it's front and center and top of mind for everybody, basically. But still, to be able to deliver a lot of business-centric use cases, which is where One AI is focusing on. Think about document analysis, customer service, sales interaction analysis, financial documents, all of these use cases that require very high accuracy levels and amazing unit economics, because you have to deploy, you need to handle 1 million or 10 million interactions a month for every single use case. You really need to have your AI both scalable, performant, and accurate at all at the same time.
So, Amit, I'm impressed on a lot of vectors. First of all, did I hear you correctly when you said the company was 1.5 years old?
Yeah.
And it amazes me. I'm a seed investor, okay, and also some round A investing. And very rarely do I come in contact, let's say on a MongoDB big stage, where I found a startup that is 1.5 years old. So congratulations on that. It must be very unique, and I need to do more research on the company. So given that we're all here at MongoDB Local, I'm curious, what are you doing with MongoDB? Are you using their developer platform as maybe the basis for all the value add you put on top?
As I said before, I believe in specialization. And as an AI company, we want to make sure we only focus on building the best AI out there.
Okay.
But as a platform, we need to have a database, we need to store the data, we need to stream it, we need to process it. And for that, we're utilizing MongoDB and Atlas. And when we started the company from this first day, we started building the foundation on top of Atlas. And that allows us to completely check that box of the database and processing and storage foundations, and to know that we're future-proof. And we're not going to waste a single cycle on looking at anything else. We all have been using MongoDB and Atlas in our previous roles, in our previous companies, and we knew that's going to be the platform. And today, all of our data is stored on MongoDB. We have huge amounts of different documents and different schemas and different parts of the systems. It's actually schemaless, but different types of documents. And I think the huge power of MongoDB and where it really connects with language AI is because in one AI, we convert language, which is by its definition unstructured.
Yes.
We convert those unstructured data sources like conversations, emails, documents into a structured document representation, which natively can very easily be stored on MongoDB. And the fact that MongoDB has a dynamic schema allows us to continuously improve, innovate, and have dozens of different AI models generating all kinds of different data points and store all of them into the database without even needing to mention that.
Sounds to me like there's quite a bit of provenance within your team, the decision to run MongoDB. It sounds like this was something that when you all came together, this wasn't even a question.
Yeah, I think we have a very long relationship with MongoDB. We had MongoDB in my previous company.
Interesting.
And then in my previous, and a few of the development team that we brought on also used Atlas in their previous roles. So it was a very natural choice for us to make.
Right.
Yeah, it seems that the company has really done a great job of engaging that developer community. And while I think we'll all agree that AI will shift what it means to be a developer, the developer will still be paramount. It's just the way we develop. AI is going to change it. You cannot possibly look at the what's happening with the co-pilots and stuff and say it's not going to change it. But just like big data, just like low code, no code, it's not going away. It's going to get to be faster, more, all the things you kind of talked about that we expect to be outcomes from AI. All right, so enough, trying to prognosticate what's going to happen to developers. Of course, feel free to weigh in on that, but I want to weigh in on another thing because, NLP isn't new. In fact, a lot of this AI stuff isn't new. I keep saying, I've been using Generative in my Gmail for quite a long time. It's been finishing my sentences for a few years now. Every so often, it's actually better than I am. I'm like, wow, that's better than, let's say that better than I.
I wanted to just do half my emails.
But I'm saying, search has been a very sophisticated AI for a long time. It's like people kind of like, this is new. It's not new. It's like language, NLP, translation. I've used Google Translate around the world all the time. I use it because it's the easiest tool. But you obviously see an opportunity with language that's bigger than kind of what is in market today. What was the kind of demand? What is the thing that the market is asking for that you think you have a better mousetrap, you have a better story to solve as it comes to dealing with language in this AI era?
Yeah, I think we're all used to seeing AI in our day-to-day usage, but usually the AI that we're using day-to-day is very simplistic in the types of prediction that it's doing. It's not actually creating added value. So translating something from one language to the other does not add or reduce information. It just translates it. And I think the power of AI that it's starting to be tapped today is to create value add capabilities. For example, if you had a sales conversation and you're going to bring two sales guys, and you're going to ask them, was there a buy intent on a sales call? Good luck to getting them to agree on that. Because that's something that you really need to add in addition to what was said explicitly on the call. Right. You want to add additional inference, additional insights. And when you're starting to talk about what is the value add capability, like what were the objections on a sales call, is a very loaded question. And there's a lot of nuance and ambiguity that goes into analyzing that. The advent of the newest generation of AI allows us to make a lot more fine and granular analysis with a lot more nuance to the understanding. So we're not just converting what is or predicting the next word on an email, which is relatively simple thing to do because overall, we're writing in a very repetitive fashion. We're usually not writing completely novel stuff every day. Just part of it might be changing. Most of it is templated. When you're generating output for the companies that we're working with, for example, when you're trying to analyze financial documents, you're trying to analyze sales conversations and interactions, you're analyzing service interactions, and you're trying to engage deeper and to actually automated things that humans are normally automating or manually doing, you got to have a next level of understanding.
Yeah, is there any low-hanging fruit area? So we talked a little bit about CSR, right? Customer service reps. We talked a little bit about, sales conversations that, by the way, could be part of a CSR conversation as well. But I'm also hearing about accounts payable, accounts receivable, certain areas. Where are you seeing some of the areas of heat and interest out there?
So I think I can bifurcate to two main streams.
Okay.
There's the creative generative stream, where app developers and companies are looking to leverage large language models to generate new stuff. And that could be writing a story, an email, drafting something. That's the generative stuff. These are usually the low-hanging fruit because when you generate something, you're at a much lower risk of making a mistake. You made something up anyway, right? If I phrase it differently or I put something in the email draft, someone's going to correct it. So I'm not too worried about accuracy and completion. And when you write a story, you want the AI to be creative by definition. That's where the low-hanging fruits are, in the creative stuff. That's easier to do. When you're looking at the other stream from the extractive, like either you generate or you extract. And I believe that the most prolific type of data in the world is unstructured language data. It's in our conversation right now.
Right.
It's in your sales calls. It's in your internal company documents, in your emails, in your memos. It's everywhere. Now, the ability to extract information from that unstructured data, which is completely taking over everything that we do, it's in everything and everywhere, and to be able to derive value from that, that's where I think AI is really going to take off and deliver the next level of value outcome, right? Imagine our conversation right now converted to a structure that somebody can make sense of later on and make decisions based on, or even automate these decisions.
Right.
That's difficult to do.
And man, I really appreciate that because I think, to your point, there's a very spongy set of guardrails for most generative things. Did it generate? It's like, was it good? What was it not? Other than factually, is it correct or incorrect? That's where there's a little bit more risk. But when it's something like, writing a sales email to somebody, it's like, it can say something like, it's not really me, but it's not wrong. It's just, but when it comes to being able to, because what you're really kind of doing is you're blending generative with business intelligence.
Yeah.
And, so I have a 3-day leadership meeting next week. I'd love to turn the mic on, record the whole thing, send it to One AI. And you guys can tell me what, after 3 days of conversation, I'd love to compare it to what our typical process. So maybe we can call it the One AI challenge. And we're going to talk offline. But I do have to say thanks and let you go because we do got to keep going on these conversations here today. But I mean, it was really fun to talk to you.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me on the show.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, you heard it there from One AI. We're here at MongoDB Local, New York City. Patrick Moorhead and myself. We have a whole bunch more of these videos, so we hope you'll hit that subscribe button. Stay with us all day here. Join us for all of our 6.5 content on YouTube, on Twitter, LinkedIn, or wherever you have found this video. Pat, it's time to say goodbye. See you guys on the next one.